All right, in the name of justice.
In the name of mic to your mouth, boy.
Justas, brother. I'm gonna call it in the name of Justas.
In the name of justice.
So this is just how we dress on a regular basis. This will be our first official episode in the name of justice.
Yeah.
And every time someone says something dope, I'm gonna just be like, in the name of justice.
Oh, dude,
You know
that's
what I mean?
cold.
In the
I
name
will
of
have order.
Just a few dudes being dudes in the name of justice.
in the name of Justas, brother. In the name of fucking Justasia.
Dude, I like that name because we're all after the truth.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
One, it's sick. Two,
Sounds cool.
Well, you're definitely dressed up like you're seeking justice in the name of justice.
When have I not worn this outfit?
That's true. Every day. That's all I've only seen you. I've never seen your eyes actually.
Do you have a condition? Both of you. I mean, you're growing hair at a rapid rate.
Yeah.
By the end of this, we'll see how long your hair gets by the end of the podcast.
Dude, your hair looks like George Michaels and Wham and the fucking I'm never gonna dance again. That's what his hair looks like in that shit.
Dude, you know
It's
who's
beautiful.
my idol growing up?
Who?
Brett Michaels.
The wrestler.
I thought he was a rock star.
Brett Michaels from Poison.
All I know is that he was all over VH1 and he
Yeah.
fucked bitches. He wore the bandanas over his head.
Yeah. He's a lead singer of a band called Poison.
Oh,
You ever heard the song?
I did
There
not-
ain't nothing but a good time.
Yeah.
How can I resist? That's him.
Yeah, that could be our theme song.
I'm him right now, dude. Ain't looking for nothing but a good time. I have chlamydia.
good. That saved
In
us
the
from
name of
getting
justice.
A
In the name of
copyright
justice.
strike.
Huh?
Dude,
That ad lib at the end saved us from a copyright strike.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Rockstar, who
Yeah.
would you rather be? Brett Michaels or Tommy fucking
Or George
Lee?
Michael.
Tommy fucking who?
Lee? Tommy Lee, isn't that his
Tommy Lee, the drummer.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't really know that much about them. I know both of them were fucking at uncontrollable rates. The entire world. Tommy Lee
100%.
was, Pamela
And you gotta
Anderson.
imagine, like, that scene stays around each other, so they probably all fucked each other at some point.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Someone was telling me about I think it was my uncle, or no, I think it was Cliff. Somebody was telling me about a Red Hot Chili Pepper book, or one of the sick. I don't know if it was Red Hot Chili Peppers or if it was Motley Crue. One of the sick ass band, and they were just talking about, like, there was a chapter about all their sexcapades, and like they would like fuck mothers and daughters together at the same time, like family. They would just like They were like had bets on who could fuck the most moms and daughters at the same time, and it would happen all the time.
You say moms and Dodgers, like Dodger players?
The Dodger players, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, the batter, the guy Justin Turner and somebody's mom banging in a threesome.
If you got 4 in one night, that was called an inside the park home run.
You want to see
easy.
You want to see a grand slam, brother? I'll show you a grand slam.
When my dad moved to his current residence, someone who used to live there, the mail that would came in was Pamela Anderson.
Whoa.
Obviously not
It
was
was
the real one, but
okay. Yeah, because it was in Connecticut.
yeah.
Yeah, she probably didn't live in Connecticut, huh?
Definitely not in the small town where my dad lives.
Damn, Pamela Anderson, though, huh? She's Louise. She had some tatas on her in the name of justice.
In the name of justice.
I love this name.
In reference
This is a
to that
good
name,
name.
Tommy just did one of the funniest things ever. So
We just made a viral TikTok.
Yeah.
That's
pending,
all I'll say.
viral pending.
Watch only 3 people watch it.
No, everybody watching this has already seen it. Let's be honest.
I do feel very relieved having finally found a name
In the name of
Yeah.
justice?
in the name of justice. I mean, just it's got a good bite to it.
Yes.
And like
We always
honestly,
knew that would come to us instantaneously, spontaneously, whatever the correct word is there.
Yeah.
But
All the A's sleeves.
this has nothing to do with how we look right now, but this is a Halloween episode.
It's Halloween time, baby. We
It
got
is
the spooky
Halloween. Happy
vibes.
Halloween.
We got them
Yeah.
spooky vibes going on. And this motherfucking bitch. What you guys want to do about the spooky shit, motherfucker?
You're so sick, bro.
Dude, in the name of justice, dude. Assalamu alaikum, dude. That's my new assalamu alaikum, is in the name of justice, dude.
I have a story from whenever I texted you guys like last week or
You
week and a
text
half.
me every day, baby.
Yeah, I did.
What
Other
are
things.
you referring to?
But I was at a bar. I was meeting up with a friend. He was in town, and after they left, the bartender that worked there, I also used to work with him, so I sat at the bar for a drink.
Damn.
So we're just kind of chit-chatting. And then there's a lady next to me, a guy, and then some other guy. And my buddy, his coworker, just knocked over all these things of like toothpicks or whatever. So I just pick them up. And the lady right next to me just turns like this. And she's like, wow. And she stuck out her hand for me to shake it. And I shook it. And she's like, you smell good. And I was like, thanks. And it was really like, it was weird. So then I go back to talking with my buddy. And then I'm just like periodically checking in. Because this guy next to her, it's like, okay, they're on a date for sure. And he is like full on just like making out with her, like grabbing on her face and stuff.
Hell yeah.
And he's like, I hear him talking. He's like, you're such a badass motherfucker. Like, you're so fucking badass. You're the baddest chick in here.
Wait, so like he's talking and making out at the same time. Like your story.
He's in and out. He's in and out. My story.
Yeah, your story isn't adding up, dude.
Sorry, guys.
He's kissing and talking at the same time. Shit ain't adding up, brother.
But she's like not really feeling it. So I'm thinking she was kind of uncomfortable of just the public aspect of it.
She wasn't feeling the kisses.
She just wasn't. She just wasn't.
Damn.
Like, she was kind of like pulling away sometimes, and he was just like, oh, you're so good. They would make out again.
You're so good.
But I look over at another point, and he's like just stuck to her face and snapping to the beat of the music. So he's literally like this.
I know a musician when I see one.
Just like full on making out still.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like looking at my buddy, just like, what the hell is going on over here? And then she turns to me a second time, and she's like, what do you do for work? Are you on the World Wide Web? And I was like, what?
How old were these people?
Like 50s.
Yeah.
And she's like, are you on the World Wide Web? And I was like, I don't know what you mean by that. And then she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Then an order of asparagus comes that only she eats. It's just a plate of asparagus.
At a bar?
Yeah. Then I look over again. She has a Trader Joe's bag in front of her, and she pulls out this big ass loaf of bread, and she just starts eating it too. Like 3 foot long like baguette, and just starts going to town on it.
Okay.
And now it's getting even weirder because then there's a bottle in her bag that's open that she's like also drinking from, and I couldn't see what it was. And he goes to the bathroom, and then she leaves. And when he comes back, the other bartender that spilled all the toothpicks, she's like, okay, so someone has to pay for her tab or whatever. And the guy's like really drunk and just all confused. And I'm trying to talk to my buddy about it, and he's like, oh yeah, that's a homeless lady that comes in all the time, and that guy does not know her.
So he was making out with a homeless lady.
He was making out with a homeless lady.
What bar serves asparagus, though?
Yeah, dude.
Like, it was just one of the sides, but she got a plate of asparagus, ate some bread, drank. It was Casamigos. That was the bottle.
Oh, my God.
And then she left, and then this guy had to pay for the tab.
He was making out with the homeless lady.
Yeah.
And he's like, you the baddest bitch in here.
Because I was trying to get my buddy's attention of like, what the fuck is going on? This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And then he's just, when she left, he was like, yeah, she's homeless and comes in all the time. And that guy has no idea who she is.
Oh, my goodness,
like,
dude.
Jesus. And then the guy that was next to the other dude, they also don't know each other, but that guy was saying like, hey man, you got to pay for the tab. Like, I'll give you a ride home if you want. And
who are these fucking people?
I don't know. They're all weird.
What bar is this?
It was Granville. And then
and on Lake?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then so they leave together, and as they're leaving, the other guy that wasn't making out the lady, he's like, what the fuck is that? And like pulls out an entire loaf of bread that was on the chair and just threw it on the bar, and they left. And I was like, this is the weirdest fucking thing I've ever witnessed.
Bro, it's some bars there's a dive bar called the R Bar in East Pasadena. I used to live by it, and I went there one time with a friend. And this place is divey as fuck, like mad divey. The bartender is this like chubby guy. He looks like he has like 4 bowling balls in his tank top, and he's wearing like.
Trust bartenders like that. They've tried every single thing at least 30 times.
Sure, I mean, yeah, but the reason I didn't trust this guy is because the basketball players when those sports goggles they have to wear when they're blind but they have to fucking play basketball.
Yeah,
he's wearing those. No physical contact, no running involved, but he has these sports eyeglasses on, like sick goggles on, and a backwards hat. He's flustered the whole time. I was like, hey, can I get a beer? He didn't know where anything was. He's running around. They had on the wall, do you remember when you go to diners and they would have little cereal boxes? Yeah. Like they'd have Frosted Flakes, like the little Frosted Flakes, and they'd have the little Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That's great.
For some reason, this place had those. This bar was selling
so
fucking
nostalgic.
Cheerios and Frosted Flakes at this bar at 2 a.m. for whoever wanted a bowl of Cheerios at the bar with like Takis and Cheetos or whatever. Bar is a mess. Anyways, this guy sits next to me, bald dude, and he starts like talking to me. And at first, he seems pretty normal, right? Like we're talking, we're just like chopping it up. He's chill, it's just normal bar shit. We're laughing. There's nothing but characters inside the whole place. This guy reaches in his bag and he pulls out a Nerf football. Like, remember, like the Nerf, like the Nerf balls, the skinny ones.
Like a Nerf
and I was like,
one?
and I was pumped. I was like, oh shit, Nerf ball! Like, I haven't seen a fucking Nerf ball in forever. That's awesome. He's like, yeah, dog. He's like, yeah, dog. Like, I just copped this today. He's like, it's fucking sick Nerf ball. I was like, man, that's super nostalgic. I love that shit. Right? We kissed. It was sick.
Yeah.
And then he puts it on the bar. The next thing he pulls out. It's like a tub. Yeah. He's like, pull out this fucking ding dong. He was like, you ever seen one of these? And then
Hey, mister, what are you doing?
he puts the tub on the thing, opens it. He dips his fingers in there. It's like neon orange paint. He grabs a fucking, like, he puts his fingers in. I'm like, okay, like, what's this guy doing? He looks at me. He's like, I love this shit. He's like, I love this shit. And I was like,
he starts sniffing it.
okay, no, he doesn't start sniffing it. He dicks his hand. He dips his hand in. He gets like a handful, starts rubbing it on their Nerf ball, like, and he's still talking to me. He's like, yeah, man. So, like, what else do you like to do with your time? Like, he's talking to me while he's lathering up this neon ball.
Dripping,
and I'm like, what are you doing? I start laughing. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh man. He's like, I just fucking love this paint. Like, I want to put this paint on this Nerf ball. And I'm like, okay, like, cool. That's not weird enough. He keeps going. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna probably stop talking to this guy as much as I've been talking because he's starting to be fucking weird. Dips his hand in again, starts rubbing it on his face at the bar, dude.
No.
Starts rubbing his face at this bar. The bartender, it's a new bartender lady that's helping the lost bowling ball gopher looking motherfucker. She comes around. She's like, put some on my face. He starts rubbing paint on her face.
Is it like neon
everyone
paint
comes
or
around?
something?
Neon orange paint. Probably for walls. It's probably not for human skin. Starts rubbing paint on it. It's like the bar's closing. It's like past. They should not be serving alcohol. Like, it's like 2:30 in the morning, and he's rubbing paint on everyone's face. It's starting to get fucking weird.
Yo,
and
this
I
is
was like,
tribal.
Starting?
I'm out, dude. I was like, I'm
like
out.
War paint, like sort of like some old ancient.
It looked like, you know, when you go
Symbolism?
to laser tag and like it looks like
Oh,
neon. That's what
yeah.
everyone's fucking
With
face
the
like
black
that.
lights
Yeah,
and
and
all
their
your
teeth
paints.
were all white, and I was like, "There's
Yeah.
a vampire orgy about to break out here if I don't
Damn,
leave."
bro.
And
Honestly,
I dipped out.
Out of all three of our stories, mine sounds most realistic.
Yours was good. Yours honestly is
Yeah.
the most valid, I think.
I mean, I just don't buy all this bar talk. You know, like are these characters really just?
You're right. If mine was on a plane, it'd be more believable.
The only thing
I
that threw me
agree.
off about Will's was the fact
Yeah.
that asparagus was served at a bar.
That doesn't seem.
I was like, that seems. I don't know
that
what bar
se-
is selling.
We
asparagus.
can pull up the menu right now. I'm sure there's a side of asparagus.
No drunk idiot has ever been like, I'm craving asparagus. That's
Asparagus?
dude. That's some
I mean,
pregnant.
it's probably
shit.
got some healthy.
Homeless lady. She was healthy homeless lady though. She likes her veggies. She likes
mean-
her greens.
Fuck, I'd stock up on some veggies if I was homeless to get the nutrients.
Honestly, that's a point. That's a point.
Healthy
You gotta
properties.
she hasn't
Veggies.
eaten healthy in months.
You're probably eating
years.
grass and flowers and shit.
I mean, she was downing just bread and Casamigos. Like, you gotta have something to balance that.
That's pretty healthy.
Hey, man. She shook my hand and said I smelled nice.
I have a question. Why hasn't there been any horror movies about the homeless population yet?
There's zombie movies. You never seen fucking Dawn of the Dead, dude?
Yeah.
That's all about homeless
Walking
people.
Dead.
The Walking Dead, 28 Days Later.
I don't think anyone wants to be scared more than they already are of like walking past.
It's.
homeless people.
I hate how taboo of subject the homeless are because
Are they-
everyone agrees that they're terrifying.
Is it taboo? There's a South Park episode about the homeless. It's phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah, and they like start asking for change.
Amazing.
They're like change, and then that's how they turn into like homeless people. It's like if you give them change, you're like change, and they like start infecting. It's fucking amazing.
I can always count on the South Park creators.
It's amazing.
to tackle everything.
It's phenomenal, dude. What were we gonna talk? What was some of the shit we were gonna talk about?
All right. Yeah. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah. Halloween.
Let's
spooky shit.
on the subject of deadly creatures. What do you think the deadliest holiday is?
Damn.
Out of Hanukkah,
Definitely
Easter.
Hanukkah.
Definitely Hanukkah, bros.
I mean,
Pretty
statistically, it's probably 4th of July based on the drunkenness and explosives.
Yeah.
But you would want it to be Halloween just for the aura of it, of what Halloween stands for. You would want that to be like, oh, some shit happens.
I'm trying to think.
So if you're gonna compete with like 4th of July, because obviously if you hear a gunshot during 4th of July, it's you just assume it's a firework, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the
So-
day to shoot somebody.
What's the grace period from 4th of July to, like, if you had some leftover shit, like 5th of July, you shouldn't be blasting stuff off, but like there's got to be some leftovers.
Yeah, no,
You know, 5th of July I think is valid.
all week long.
All week long.
It was a war zone in my
So
neighborhood.
when do you cut it off? Like,
Dude, when I had a 4th of July in El Sereno during the pandemic, when everyone was locked in, bro, they were shooting. First of all, they were shooting fireworks every night. Like
Yeah.
it was just one of those neighborhoods they're shooting every night. The 4th of July, bro, from 3 p.m. till 3 a.m., it was like Dodgers, like the end of a fucking like New Year's Eve fireworks show, the dopest show I've ever seen in my life. I'm pretty sure somebody shot a bazooka, dude. Because one of the things went da, like in the fucking house shook. Like I was like, that was an RPG.
Damn, bro.
speaking of RPG, RP in Lebanon on New Year's.
That was a stretch, but we'll let it slide.
Thanks.
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
My
Continue.
girlfriend from Lebanon. On New Year's, it's like everyone just grabs all their guns and goes out to
Shoots.
their balconies and just like all night long. And then the next day, it's just on the news. It's just like 4 people died in this neighborhood.
That's a deadly holiday in Lebanon.
All
for
they
sure.
do is just like they all have guns.
Which holiday?
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
I was just gonna
that's
say,
the one
that
that
could
they
be up
fucking
there.
go
I was
for.
gonna guess New Year's Eve besides 4th of July because
That's
people are
true, probably,
partying,
guys.
Oh,
driving drunk, also drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Overdoses.
Those two are the most
They're still
intoxicated
explosives,
holidays.
New Year's are still explosives.
People are still
Do
lighting
you
some
think?
shit off.
Do you think people get more fucked up for the nation's birthday or for what could potentially be their last year alive? You know what I mean?
I think more people, especially now, give more of a fuck about New Year's.
Yeah.
It's like
I
seems like a
agree.
fresh start.
Now that I think about it,
This was my least patriotic 4th of July last year. This past year.
I don't
Especially
even
where we
remember.
live, like kind of no one,
Yeah. No
the
one
large
cares around
populace
here.
does not give a fuck.
Yeah.
about
I remember.
America.
I don't remember.
There's no
what it is.
lakes.
You're almost like a
track those.
communist if you like America and LA. Like or not. I mean, not a communist. They like look at you like you're a piece of shit
Yeah.
for,
Yeah, they
for
like
waving the
communists.
flag. They like. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're seen as like a fucking. You're like a piece of shit for liking America. Like what the fuck, dude?
So,
like
yeah,
this is our
there's-
home, dude.
there's
Go fuck
problems,
yourself.
But I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
And I'm proud to be an American. Where at least I knew I'm free and I fucking want to stand.
What do you think is like the dark horse? though?
Beer trucks and cattle prongs.
Which holiday is the dark horse
Okay.
for death?
First of
'Cause
all,
it could be Halloween.
I think New Year's more people die than 4th of July.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because there could be, that
it's
could be
probably that's very debatable, but I think it's.
I don't
yeah.
because I don't think the explosives on 4th of July are enough. Like I bet you there's a lot of missing fingers on the 4th of July,
Ooh.
but death. You know,
Ooh.
I feel like New Year's Eve is more of like a drug holiday
Yeah, because
and drinking
You
and
would
driving
know, man.
holiday.
Also
You
think
have
about it.
like what 40,
4th of
50
July is
years
more
in
of
the
a-
rock and roll industry.
That's true.
4th of
Yeah.
July is more of a day party type of thing.
Day
So
party.
you can sober up at night.
And or pass out.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
New Year's is just like till the fucking break of dawn, and then it's like we gotta go home, and then
Yeah.
the sleeper holiday. Let's see. I would say.
Memorial Day.
Sleeper.
Well, I'm gonna go with Thanksgiving because, and this is why, and it's not physical death, but there's a lot of relationship, family deaths. You know what I mean? Like there's
okay.
a lot of people that do not
A
talk,
subcategory of
do
death.
not talk to certain family members ever again,
That one
based
uncle
on the
that
dinner that they have
spews.
at Thanksgiving.
Not just that, like hopes and dreams die. on
Hopes and
Thanksgiving.
dreams.
It's like, oh, Tommy, what'd you do with your life this year? And it's, you know what I'm gonna say? Nothing, because I'm not going home because I'm not trying to kill that
Yeah,
dream.
exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
what was a big problem at the last Thanksgiving I was at my family's house was one of my aunts and uncles. They brought like one of their friends over, and that demoted one of my older cousins to the kid table where like the most of us had to sit because we had a lot of people there.
Yeah.
So it's
Wow,
like
they really made him sit at the kids' table.
So it's like it was.
I would've
like-
been fucking
I was at the
furious.
kids' table too. Like there's not enough room at the big main table.
Make room.
But they demoted one of my cousins to
That's
us
unacceptable.
for this guy that no one knew except for those two people. And I mean, it was a big.
I'm gonna tell you
split.
right now, that's some fucking bullshit. It doesn't matter if we have to sit with like 3 inches of space.
Yeah.
You make fucking room at the big table.
Definitely don't put that guy at the
True.
kids' table. But
Definitely don't put strange guy number 1 in B-roll fucking extra character number 1 at the main table.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But also, you just make more room at the table. If it doesn't matter how many people, the table could be this big, there could be 10 motherfuckers. We're gonna eat at this table,
Yeah.
and I'll put my plate on my lap. But like I'm not. sitting at the kids' table as an adult.
And the cousin that got demoted he's gay and sassy. So it was just a big old.
They were like, that guy. We don't like that guy.
There's
Anyways.
a big riff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so. I mean,
See what I'm saying? There's a lot of relationship deaths at the Thanksgiving table.
100%.
You bring a new girlfriend over.
Oh my
That
God.
might ruin your relationship.
It will. No, I wouldn't know.
Dad's drunk. Somebody's drunk, yelling crazy shit.
Dad's not even awake.
Not even awake.
No,
Someone
Dad-
starts saying racist shit.
Yeah.
Bang. There you go. Girlfriend's like, your dad is fucking right, and you're like, bitch, that's my papa. I don't care.
That's a
Yo,
great answer, man.
Or you side with her and then you don't talk to your family. It's like it's just
Either way, you're killing something off.
something's dying on
Something
Thanksgiving.
is dying.
Thanksgiving
It's
is-
usually the turkey.
The turkey's dead. Let's talk about that. There's a lot of turkey death. The holiday revolves around a massacre of turkeys.
except that one pardoned turkey that's just going to be first in line next year.
Dude, I'm saying, actually, that's a good point.
When they pardon it, do they save it for the rest of its life?
I
or
bet
does it
you-
just go right back into circulation.
I bet you after they pardon it, they bring it around the White House and just somebody just shoots it in the side of the fucking head, dude. He goes, "Oh, you thought you were gonna get away with this shit?" Bah! Just shoots it, gobble gobble. Just shoots it, and the fucking just stupid ball sack chin just slumps on the like over its own head, like. Dude,
Yeah, that's definitely what happens to the pardoned turkey.
they assassinate that dude like mafia style, Goodfellas style.
Yeah, they make it dig its own grave.
It's like the scene in Goodfellas. Have you guys seen Goodfellas?
Yeah.
When they kill Joe Pesci,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's the turkey,
Oh
dude.
yeah, it's a made turkey.
He's like
Yeah.
a made man. He's a made turkey. They're like, yeah, come on in.
They
Dude,
just
you're
bring him
gonna-"
to the garage
Dude,
for
he
the
knew
ceremony.
that.
He's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it's just like plastic all over the walls, like a Dexter scene, and then just fucking. Doof, doof, doof.
Dude, his face of betrayal before he like just gulps.
He
and
knows.
swallows his.
Like,
fate.
aw, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So epic.
that's what happens to the turkey. That's what happens.
Turkeys kind of sound like Joe Pesci.
Damn, that's a hot take. That's a good take.
I can see it. If Joe
Yeah.
Pesci was a
That's a
bird,
spirit animal.
He'd definitely be
he'd be a turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. That's
Yeah.
solid. That's a fucking solid
And as
evaluation.
well- oh wait, he's the guy from Home Alone as well, right?
Yeah.
He is
Yeah.
versatile.
He's Marv, and then Harry's the tall guy, right?
You look like Harry right
You
now with the
look
hair.
like oh my god! Zoom in on that shit.
Yeah, you do look like Harry, man.
What are you?
What the fuck are you,
What
dog?
the fuck are you, bro?
I don't know. I like the afro.
You're just a guy with an afro.
I'm Foxy Cleopatra.
You should go full Bob
Yo,
Ross.
if you
man.
had to wear a Halloween costume for the rest of your life, or like at least every Halloween, but you couldn't stray from it, which costume?
I'd be a banana.
a
Spider-Man.
banana.
There's a banana suit you could wear.
Yeah.
Where it's just your face and a banana.
Yeah.
I would wear. I'd
See,
be that.
Spider-Man's timeless, but like
I was Spider-Man probably.
Bananas
6
get
times in my
ripe.
life.
You're telling me bananas aren't timeless?
bananas.
No,
get
those
ripe.
things are not fresh. after
especially
a
around
while.
here, bro. Like they die. Like
They do die
My
around here
shit's
pretty
brown.
quick. You know what dies fast is
That's not bad.
avocados.
avocado. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too fast.
But like you gotta like be on the day because like 2 days before it's like too hard, and then if you miss that one day,
Why is it
Too
so
much.
difficult with why is our relationship with avocados so difficult?
I don't know, man.
I think it's probably because as guys we have problems with things that have nuts in them.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
it's just a source of confliction.
Sure.
Like, there's a nut.
But that's
in
a
that.
pit.
I like peanuts though.
Isn't that a pit?
And it's a
in
seed.
avocado?
It's not a nut. Also, I like almonds and nuts. I like male balls. I like guys' cocks. I also like that. So,
On the subject, that's my costume would probably be Hugh Hefner because listen, man,
that's a good one.
you age into it gracefully.
True.
And as well as you're just comfy all night long.
Damn.
Yeah, one
You're wearing a
dope
robe.
robe that you're comfortable in.
And you get
Two,
bitches.
you
That's
can
true.
literally not wear pants and no one
Yes.
can say shit.
Dude, that's
100%.
a great. You've thought about this, haven't you?
I have not.
Damn, that's a great choice.
I just know a friend back home who
Mm.
was John Cooper. His name was John Cooper, absolute legend.
Shout out John Coop.
In the name of justice for John Cooper.
In the name of justice,
Free
John,
John
Coop.
Cooper.
In the name of
Dude.
justice.
It was a very it was when he was still alive too. So he really caught that wave before it started.
You have to really lived it up, huh?
I mean, you tell us, man. You're the
What do you
rock
think
star.
he was
That's
for
true.
Halloween? Himself?
Himself. I bet you put like on.
What if he was a bunny on Halloween?
Maybe he was a
He
bunny.
probably had sick Halloween parties.
Dude,
Oh!
are you
Those
crazy?
parties are so crazy. Yeah.
He not just normal. He had the most. Every weekend had
Oh my god!
literally orgies with the best
yeah.
people
But it's
in the
definitely
world.
more special on a holiday because like I feel like
Everyone's
that would get
stressed out.
a little tiring. If you
For
were
sure.
homeboys with him, you went every week.
I would imagine the Halloween parties at the Playboy Mansion to be the best.
Yeah.
Out of every holiday, I think
Halloween
because everyone's sexy, even sexier than they already are.
Yeah.
And then you have the fucking girls who can just wear their everyday outfit, and that counts as a costume.
Yeah. Dude, imagine partying at the fucking place. That's bananas. Dude.
Can we bring that back?
I don't think it would fly in today's world. I'm sure. Hell yeah. I think there's still parties like that going on, but you just don't know where.
Andrew Tate in Romania, probably.
Like Dan Bilzerian, dude, we used to have wild ass
he actually
parties
came
like
to mind. Yeah. I know him. I've arrested him.
Just these real alpha males, you know?
Yeah, there's just dudes that are having a good time.
Alphas. That's who's doing it still.
Hugh Hefner's not really an alpha, though.
He's like, I mean, not in your face about it, but he's just more like...
He's a subtle alpha?
Yeah, he's just like...
He was a pimp.
He didn't have to use his words.
That dude had that corn on the cob fucking, or the...
I don't know much about him. I just know that like he always had...
He seemed a little too timid to be like alpha.
But he pulled off some pretty dope shit.
Yeah.
When he was like close to death in his last like 5 years, he was in a relationship with twins.
What? Did he ever get that Viagra sponsorship?
I don't know.
How did he sleep on that?
I don't know if he needed it. Bro, the Playboy bunnies?
Yeah, you think that's just enough when you're 80?
If you're 80 and you're dating 21-year-old twins, bro, I don't think you need Viagra. I mean, maybe he does.
Maybe. Yeah,
but if there's ever a situation where you probably don't,
it's
just dating 21-year-old twins.
A puppeteer over his bed. Working.
Yeah, just like
working his dick.
Pulling his hips. Like, all right, there we go. His arms are limp. He's got limp arms. They're just like,
dude.
A marionette.
Oh, he definitely haunts that place. There's no way his soul isn't still like still fucking.
No, it got sucked out of him.
His soul?
Nice.
Okay.
Best horror movies / best horror villains of all time.
I do not like
Chucky,
horror movies.
I'll
be the first to admit. You guys probably already knew this. I don't like being scared. I scare myself enough in my own mind, day to day. So,
I mean, you know the cast. You know Edward Scissorhands.
I'll tell you. Okay,
Jason.
I guess
Chucky,
Jason would be mine because I was so stupid when I was a little kid.
Myers,
my dad I was probably like 8, and my dad had it on the TV, and he was watching it. But then he saw I was like watching it, like kind of like I was interested, definitely invested because like it was interesting. But my dad changed it. He's like you probably shouldn't watch this. Then he leaves, and I was like kind of curious, so I changed it back. And then my dad came back, and he's like, "All right, like." I warned you, and I watched the whole movie. Was fucking terrified. And that night we had to go to my grandma's house, and it was like really dark in her driveway. And my dad got out of the car first, and I was unbuckling my seatbelt. And when I turned back this way to get out the car, my dad was just at the glass like, bah! And I cried for like 20 minutes.
That seems like something you would do.
Yeah, it definitely does seem like something I would do. It's something I did, and to this day I can't watch that movie. Like it makes me too scared all the time.
You gotta stop being a bitch, my boy.
Well, at the very what's your favorite? If you don't want to pick a villain, like
okay, I'll
scariest movie of all time.
I'll run through a couple things. So first of all, when I was a kid, my parents didn't restrict anything in terms of watching.
Everything was fair game.
Bro, I used to watch like Leprechaun. I don't know if you guys remember Leprechaun. Leprechaun in the Hood. There was a Leprechaun in the Hood version. So there was like Leprechaun 1 through 4. Then there was a Leprechaun in the Hood. So Leprechaun was this Irish troll that they stole. These stupid kids, usually white teenagers, found a pot of gold and it belonged to this leprechaun. He would haunt them and like kill them. Like literally, I remember one scene where he's doing the Irish jig on some dude's body and just crushing his bones.
What was it called?
Leprechaun. And then Leprechaun in the Hood, for some reason, takes place in South Central LA. And there's a scene in the movie.
That's just my life.
Where he meets a gay dude, a gay prostitute dude. So it's like this big, like chubby black dude. And he has the rollers that like women put in their hair, like those like colorful little cylinders that they put in their hair for some reason. And he's like, "Ooh, you cute little man," or says some shit like that to him. And like he takes the leprechaun in the bedroom. The leprechaun fucks this guy to death. Like that's one of the scenes. Jesus. I saw that as a 5-year-old. So that's what's going on in my brain. But anyways, he's
a horrible movie.
He takes off the mask and it's just Hugh Hefner.
So I would say
fake laugh.
The only scary,
he's terrifying.
The only scary movie, the only one that scared me though, was Chucky for some reason. Chucky scared the shit out of me as a kid. Like
I never watched that movie, but
yeah.
it just looked annoying. Like the Chucky doll looked annoying, and then there was some kids I knew that liked it, and they were like dirty and gross kids, and I didn't like them, so I never wanted to watch.
Dirty and dude, you're so Amish, dude. They're dirty and gross.
They were not
kids.
pure. They didn't wear plain clothing.
It's a drastic. I mean, they're just normal horror movies. The later it got, like the more the later the movie franchise, it got funny. It like became funny for some reason.
Yeah.
But that was the only one that scared me. But best horror movie, this is a good question. I think I really like the new It. I think is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The newest It that they made, not the second one. The second one's good too, but the first one, fantastic, bro. That was a good one. As far as villains go, though, man, Freddy Krueger's up there.
Are they considered villains in horror movies?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I
mean, there's no real. I
like
guess
monsters.
there's a protagonist that like overcomes them at some point. Like one person survives, but
I would say, dude, Freddy Krueger's a good one, dude.
I'm going Jim Carrey, The Grinch, but for best horror movies, I think I'm gonna. Can we agree that Jim?
Wait, what? No, Jim Carrey, The Grinch is the best villain.
Nah, she's like the scariest fucker.
That scared you the most?
Dude,
that one of my cousins is terrified
really
of the Cat in the Hat and the real life Grinch.
Wow.
Like, both the real life ones are like just.
He played both,
terrifying.
right?
No, that was Mike Myers.
Mike
Cat in the
Myers,
Hat.
Austin Powers.
Oh man,
RP saw me standing in my room with my shirt off, and I have a bigger belly now, and she called me the Grinch, and boy, that one took the wind out of my sails.
Yeah.
you should
got a
bring her
nice
home
belly?
for Thanksgiving. See what
Yeah,
happens.
I got a nice little.
Honestly, the scariest horror movie I've ever seen in theaters, I'm gonna go like either Annabelle or The Conjuring. Same universe, same like creators, producers.
I don't think I've seen those movies.
Oh man, terrifying! I actually saw an amazing movie recently, The Barbarian.
Scary?
Dude, this is like it's gonna be a cult classic, bro. Like this movie was so good and so fucking terrifying that
Really?
I literally screamed out loud in the movie theater.
You screamed?
Yeah,
You're like, ah!
yeah. But it's like funny. It gets funnier as the movie goes on, but it's still terrifying. Like it's good.
What was
It's
like the house in the
really
woods?
good.
Didn't that end in like a big joke?
No, yeah, that's a great movie, actually.
The
That one-
Cabin in the Woods, right?
Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, that's
Dude.
the one. That ended with like
You
a
didn't like
big
it?
giant monster.
It was
at
like
the end.
No, it's a
it was,
funny
it was
movie.
a science experiment, right? Wasn't it?
No, so
There was like a laboratory inside
the
of it.
no, the whole movie's funny. It's not really a scary movie. It's a funny movie. It's a parody. But essentially what happens is they go out to the cabin, they all start getting killed by these things. And what you end up finding out is that
They're accidentally doing it or something?
no, in the beginning of time, these demons made these deal, like the demons made a deal with humanity because they would just to fuck us up. So they made a deal that like once a year we would offer a certain, and they were each tropes. Like the virgin was like the innocent girl, the jock, the nerd,
They're all
whatever.
archetypes.
They're like archetypes of horror movies, and they offer them up to these demons to be sacrificed, and they spare humanity.
Damn, that's poetic.
So that the whole time, like they feel bad about it, those people in the labs, but they're like, this is literally for
the best of
humanity will be wiped out if we don't do this. And then two people end up surviving, and then the demons go, okay, cool, and they come out and they just start fucking killing everybody, and that's how the movie ends. It was actually a good movie.
I think I might need to rewatch that.
I was being a hater too when I saw it. I didn't want to watch it, and I watched
I
it.
finished it because it was so bad.
There
funny.
is a funny movie where I forget who made it or who's in it, but there's a funny movie where like these two guys that look so much like it's all in the woods, but like these two guys look for sure like they'd be like killers. They act creepy, and then all these people in this group that like witness those guys are accidentally dying in these horrific deaths that look like it was planned by someone, but like someone literally trips and like splits their head open in a rock. Like, but it's funny just because you know that the other guys aren't doing it. The guys that everyone thinks are doing it, I'm pretty sure they're witnessing these dead bodies and like they're afraid of like who's killing all these people. But like I forget what that movie is, so it's not very helpful. But
yeah, great story, man.
thanks.
No, I think I know what you're talking about. It sounds familiar. I just don't remember the name either. But I think I saw a preview for it. You know what's a scary movie too though?
What's that?
Hereditary. Have you seen Hereditary?
Ooh. I've heard that.
That's a good one, dude.
I've heard that it isn't so much like pop scares as it is
It's
disturbing.
creepy.
It's
That's
very
the thing
disturbing.
is like I'll still think of certain scenes from that movie. And
I
be
haven't
like,
seen it, but
like randomly I'll just think of certain images from that
we
movie.
should watch that tonight.
And I'll be like,
No.
fuck, dude. That was weird, bro. Like,
Yeah.
that was weird. There's a scene at the end. Well, I don't want to tell you. If you're going to watch it, I don't want to tell you
I'm
too
gonna
much.
watch it.
But there's just certain scenes where you're just like, it's like, it's just creepy.
Oh, fuck.
My dad told me he watched a movie called Hush, where it's like this deaf lady that doesn't know that like someone's like kind of in the house. My dad was just like, I had like the chills the whole time. Like, she can't hear what's going on, and like it just the suspense is constantly just killing you throughout the movie because it's like if only she could fucking hear, she would know that. Like I forget what the whole premise was.
You guys like fucking doing
Dude, this is
jumping
a good
jacks and she
segue.
can't see?
Yeah, just working out.
This is a good segue. This doesn't have to be necessarily like a ghost story, but like, what's the creepiest thing that's ever happened to you when you're like all alone?
It's like paranormal.
It could be.
Activity.
It could be paranormal, or it could just be like you got freaked out about something and you found out later like it was like the radiator or something.
Anytime I turn the lights off downstairs and have to run upstairs,
Yeah, dude.
I'm always getting chased.
That was actually that was kind of mine. Like I was my family was away. I was staying with my grandma when I was like 9 or 10. My family was in Italy. They didn't take me with them
Damn, that
because
sucks.
fuck Tommy.
You were by yourself?
Yeah.
Hijack a
It was just
plane.
me and my grandma.
You're on a
and-
no-fly list.
My grandma's house is for sure haunted. We see, I mean, I haven't seen it, but like my mom has seen like apparitions walk by hallways and stuff like that. But one night it was a classic like thunderstorm. It was pouring down rain.
Classic whodunit.
Who done it?
Absolutely. And I had just watched The Shining. And I was
Oh.
already, for the first time. And like, like, first of all, this is a little side subject. What is it about every single fucking movie that you watch where if there is a sex scene, if there's a naked lady,
They die.
well, that too, but like, why is it that like it's Murphy's Law? Your parents or your grandma
Oh, they just walk in.
have to walk in right as that scene is going
yeah.
down. Like, what is that?
And they will 100% always just
It's a
think
synchronicity.
It's just porn.
It
Yeah.
happens every fucking time.
Yeah.
like not just now. Like I just get calls from my mom. Like whenever I'm watching something scary, and I'm like, Mom, like it is 1 a.m. over there. Why are you up? But anyway, yeah, that's a real thing that happens, and I'm happy that I'm old enough now.
I have just one aside story to mention.
Yeah.
There was one time we were all at my grandma's house for like this big family dinner and stuff, and we were watching some of the Chappelle Show on the computer, and we were watching, I can't say the word, but the N Family.
Yeah.
And we knew we weren't supposed to watch it. Our parents would get mad if we watched it. So we were on the computer, and as soon as we heard our Uncle Kevin coming to the door, we exited out of it. We were just like real squirrely. And all he said was like, exited out of that pretty fast. And to this day, I still think he thinks we were all watching porn, like all of our cousins together.
For
Dude.
sure he does.
I mean, we've all done that at some point.
We've all done that.
7th grade, baby.
Dude, all right. Creepiest thing. So this didn't happen to me. This happened to a really close, like my best friend growing up. And I believe him, and it happened to him and his girlfriend. And it wasn't, I don't know. I just don't think they were lying. Like they were pretty serious and looked pretty creeped out. But anyways, this happened right here right by the park right here. I used to live across the street on the other side. It's Park Avenue. So I used to live there, and they were hanging out at my house, and they left, and they got in their car. It was late. It was like midnight, 1 a.m. And they were facing, where the bathrooms are at Garfield Park?
Yeah.
The bathrooms. So they were looking up the street towards the bathrooms. They're sitting in the car, and they're kind of just hanging out for a second. And then my buddy said that he saw this like big shadowy figure, like big, 7 foot tall, something like that. And it was like coming out from where the dirt road is towards the street. And he said he started looking at it, and he said it was kind of weird because it didn't look like it was like moving with legs. It looked like it was kind of like gliding almost.
But, yeah.
It was like kind of just like that. And then he started like paying attention to it, and they kind of both stopped talking and just started looking at it. And they said it was like that. And then they said it kind of like leaned forward like this and went like that and like flew down, I guess Hope Street, like towards Fair Oaks.
Yeah,
Just flew. And they both just sat there for a second. And my buddy asked his girlfriend at the time, he's like, "Did you see that?" And she was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Let's get the fuck out of here."
Dude.
And they dipped out.
Dude.
One thing came to mind.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Slenderman.
Yeah. So he told me about that, and I was kind of like, they didn't seem like they were lying.
That's a captivating story.
I definitely do believe people, like, you know, even if it's just like a coat that's hanging on your like side of your bed at night or like on your dresser, like it's very fooling. But the one crazy thing that happened to me that I just remembered was during the pandemic, my roommate flew back home, so I had my apartment just to myself. And I mean, I was like so depressed. I was just like, okay, I only leave my bedroom to go into the living room all day, so I'm just gonna bring my bed into the living room and just set up this sick ass fort. And it was crazy for a couple nights. But the last night when I was just like, I'm going back in my bedroom, I was like on my iPad or something on the mattress. All the lights were off. I was about to get ready to go to bed, and the TV remote was right next to the TV. There was no way I could have sat on it or anything. The TV was off, and it just turned on out of nowhere. It was all staticky, and it freaked me the fuck out.
It was staticky?
Yeah. I
That
had
is
all the lights
creepy.
off, and it was just like, but like I didn't sit on the remote. It was I could look at the remote on the side next to the TV. There's no other way. There's no button to like really turn on the TV without a remote. Like, and it just out of nowhere turned on, and I just went right back into my room. I was like, "Fuck this!"
Yeah, that is
Terrifying.
creepy. It's crazy because like when something like a creepy thought or a scary thought gets in your head, like you think there's something, it builds in your head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I felt all
like, it like
tingly.
it's like a seed, and then it's just like, and then you start thinking like every little noise is
All
something.
logic flies out the window.
All logic is
It's
gone.
just like what it could be. It's just like, no, there's a fucking
I
spirit.
feel like on a
poltergeist.
universal level, the more you think about something, the more you believe in something, the more likely it'll actually play out, right?
I don't know.
Because
Tommy's book.
No. On the train we're on, dude.
bro,
Sex is life. Chapter
I was
1.
the longest tunnel in Massachusetts was right where I used to live, and like over 200 people died while trying to make it because of TNT detonations and cave-ins
I
and
thought
shit
you
like
meant,
that.
trying to make it like passing through, and I was like, there's just explosives going off. Okay, constructing the tunnel. A lot of people died. Okay.
Anyway, the tunnel never. It used to be made for like horse and carriage use, but it never got industrialized into like a road or anything like that. Like it was just too narrow to some degree.
Yeah.
And so my friend Thomas he's a film major, and he was making a Halloween film maybe 3 years ago. So I was like, dude, I know just the spot. It's so creepy. And he was just trying to get like B-roll. And we're filming in this tunnel, and it had just rained the day prior. So on the end of the tunnel was like puddles, and we had to kind of like jump from stone to stone that was popping out of the puddle just to like get out of the tunnel. And I was just telling him, like, he was filming, and I was telling him, like, yeah, so like in 1880 or something, like they built this tunnel, like maybe 300-400 people died. And as I said that, we both froze because someone's walking in the tunnel. And we turn and we're like, hello? Is anyone there? And it's walking towards us. And you hear on the video the footsteps walking into the puddle, coming right out at us. And bro, it was one of those instances of like the footsteps stopped, me and him just looked at each other, and we're just like, what do we do? Like why aren't they responding to us?
I'm about to shit
What the fuck? And we turn on our iPhone lights and we pointed down the tunnel, and nothing was in there.
Nothing
Nothing at all, dude.
You could see all the way down the tunnel.
It's so long that you just can, but yeah, you can see all the way down the tunnel.
And
It's such a long tunnel.
there was
bro.
nothing.
There's nothing in the tunnel. No animals. I mean, it could have been no squirrel can make that sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was nighttime.
It was nighttime,
Squirrels don't don't roam the streets at night.
bro. And you know what the most fucked up part is? We were watching it back at the house afterwards. We were getting like goosebumps just like listening to the sound and all that. And I'm like, dude, do not lose this footage. Like, this is like actual evidence. And he literally like taped it over it. next day. And
next day.
Bro, like, I have never forgiven him for it. Like, it is by far the stupidest thing he's ever done.
The next day.
Or it was like like very recently after that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's terrible.
I know. I was so upset because we had it documented. It was
Holy
so sick.
shit.
I know. It was.
That's scary, dude.
The ghosties didn't want their footprints out.
Wow.
You know one thing I'm terrified of
What's that?
is
Pussy.
Now, speak of taping over stuff. Me and my sister, my dad does not know this, but when we were little, we were playing this Chronicles of Narnia video game, and the tape that was in our TV to like hook up all this shit was like one of my dad's like first like band performances, like something, and we taped over it somehow accidentally. So like it's all footage of Chronicles of Narnia on this VHS tape. But so it could maybe be forgiven if like, okay, there's some sick gameplay going on. We hit record, and then our mom like made lunch for us. So it's just like 30 minutes of some character just like floating like this. Like you see my dad like playing out this band, and then it just cuts hardcore to the Chronicles of Narnia video game, just like characters floating.
I would be so pissed.
So we never told our dad, but
does he know? Did he find out?
He's never gone back to these tapes.
Oh, okay, so he doesn't give a
so
shit.
it must not be that important, but if he the day he needs it, we're fucked.
Yeah. Dude.
Oh my god, that's so.
He'll let you know.
Anything. That's so funny.
So, I don't know what happened.
Hey son, don't bother coming home for the holidays.
Yeah. I didn't even know there was a Chronicles of Narnia video game.
Oh yeah, it was
That
sick.
sounds so.
Was it?
lame, bro.
Yeah, it was so dope.
Chronicles of Narnia. Isn't that a world in somebody's closet?
Yeah. The mission we were
Is
on
that just
was,
a super deep story about coming out of the closet?
Yeah, I think it is. Wait, is that the one that's in the closet, or is it the
It's a
the Lion, the
wardrobe.
Witch, and the Wardrobe?
I think it's a wardrobe.
that's the first book
of Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah, that's like the first movie.
The
slash
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, bitch.
Yeah.
The Lion, the bitch, and the Wardrobe.
Dude, that would be such a fucking twist if the protagonist in that, like, if it was a closet, like,
Yeah.
what if they were a homophobe, right? And like they finally like defeated this this huge army, and like at the very end they remember like, oh my god, I have to come out of the closet, like I can't leave this world ever again.
They gotta
or
come
else
out.
the joke's on me.
True.
I think that's I might pitch that to a producer.
That's actually a great idea.
Thanks, man.
And then he comes out.
So picture Chronicles of Narnia, but they're gay.
The guy's homophobic.
A remake. Like I have to wait another 10 years or so, but like that's a good remake.
The guy's homophobic, doesn't want to come out. Eventually comes out, and then gets fucked in the ass.
But Aslan the lion is like his gay mentor that like helps him navigate this world.
Yeah.
Aslan.
Aslan.
Aslan is.
You know that guy had a horse cock, dude. That half
The
horse.
voice actor is Liam Neeson, who is rumored to
What?
have an absolute hanger.
He's got a
Of
sledgehammer.
a freaking wang.
He's got the sledgehammer.
There's like a gif of him jogging, and it's just like,
Is it really?
yeah.
No way Liam Neeson's packing.
No,
I've heard of
serious
this.
heat and selling dope. Like
I will
Look
find
up
you,
Liam Neeson
and I
wiener
will pipe
gif,
you.
and then we'll put that on the screen right there.
Liam Neeson.
How are we doing
wiener
on
gift.
time?
We've been going for a while.
Has it been over an hour?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe.
Should we wrap it up?
We can wrap it up on Liam Neeson's ding dong.
All right. Well, Mrs. Leonard, let me know if you're still
Mrs.
single.
Leonard.
Yeah, she fell asleep a while ago.
All right,
We're
cool.
good.
All right, so guys, this been episode official number 1.
Yeah, in the name of justice.
Official number 1 in the name of justice. I think this was a pretty solid episode.
All right, and then every episode we'll close it out like, all right, guys, and as always, I recommend you shut the fuck up. And just cut it.
This says Janice Dickinson claims Liam Neeson has the biggest dick of any man alive.
How big?
I don't know.
Let me see photos.
There's no photos. It's just this so far is just print. The biggest penis of any man alive is the quote.
Yeah, dude. There's like a gif of him running, and he's like shorts. It's just like slapping into his thigh.
Damn, bro.
He like pisses himself all the time too.
I've heard
There's like
this.
a million celebrity shots, like people like paparazzi, and there's just piss stains all over.
I
his
think when your
pants.
dick's that long, like it just drips out.
I think
you
he's just
have
like
no
drunk
control.
in Ireland and just like.
This just says he has a very pendulous dong.